right, just the people up here. Aimani. I think you got better than me on that horn. Stand up. Dawada, present thyself in thy registry.
Just say
Dawada, ban Yahawada, ban Yasha'Allah.
now salute.
Yahawah Bashin Yahshabakta.
You can bring it up. You can bring it up. Come on. This is just the last one. It's just the old one I had.
And then with your
Just put the dice
I can't
on it.
believe I forgot all this, man. I'm so sorry.
hold that hand out and then sweep it the same. No, you got it. No, you got that hand.
There you go.
And then La Yasha'Allah. La Yasha'Allah.
La Yasha'Allah.
Go ahead and drink.
He is.
He is.
Con, only
That's
for
on.
David Atonement. That's Captain Odd.
I was going to say,
Con.
most certainly the grace.
Yeah, that's from Captain Odd. You shall. Okay, so Shalom Yahawah Bashin Yashar Barakatam to all the Akim out there, all our brothers, and then Yahawah Shamar Alatan by Hashem Yahweh to all the Akwafi and all the sisters out there, and to our children. This is the Day of Atonement Service. We're in October 11th, 2024. And we were going to talk about the Day of Atonement Service, what we're supposed to be doing on this day. We'll read through it. This was considered a very holy day of the year because you weren't supposed to do any type of work at all. The other commandments say you're supposed to do servile work. This is you were supposed to put yourself in subjection and afflict your souls on this day. So we'll go in and talk about that. And we'll do maybe a couple precepts to show what was going on this day as far as Israel afflicting their souls and what they were supposed to do. But as the tradition and as what we do in the UPK is on every feast day, we go through every feast so that we can review. And this is something that Israel always did because Israel always went through usually the law on the high holy days. They read the law so that the people could understand. We're reading through the feast days so that people can understand because this is something that was been passed down. So we always go to, besides the experts up here, can anybody tell me what book that we're going to be reading out of as far as the feast days? Con, sis? Leviticus, what chapter? Perfect. Con, give her a hand. All right. So we're going to be reading in Leviticus 23, and we're going to go through the feast days. We're going to read it in the Hebrew first, and then we're going to read it in the English. And a lot of times in the ancient Israel, when the head priest was reading from the law, and the other priests and other Levites that were, among the people would help them to understand. Precept is in Ezra, or it was in Nehemiah, where it says the people that were helping the people to understand what was going on being read to them. So we're going to go through this, and if you have any questions, please ask them. Got, great officers up here, Officer Batazaba. So if you got any questions, everybody ask him. No, sure, I slack. All right, Leviticus chapter 23, we're going to read verses 1 through 7 in the Hebrew first. You want me to start off, sir?
Come.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1. Wayadar Yahweh al, Mashah la Amar. Verse 2. Dabar al, Bunya Yasha'ala wa Amarath Olyam, Olham, Mawa'aija Yahweh Ashar, Takora Awa, Atham, Makora Awa, Kodash, Allah, Hum, Mawa'aija. Verse 3. Shashah, Yum Yum, the Aisha, Malakab, Mabawa Yawam, Hashabayaya, Shabbat, Shabbat, Makora Kodash, Call, Malakah, La'ah, the Aisha, Shabbat, Awa, La Yahweh, Bakal, Mawa Shabbat Yakam. Verse 4. Allah, Mawa'aija, Yahweh, Makora Ayah, Kodash, Ashar, Takora Awa, Atham, Bamawa'aijam. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 5. Bakadash, Hara'ashwan, Ba'araba'aiha, Aishara, Lachadash, Bayan, Ha'arabyam, Pasak, La Yahweh. Verse 6. Wa'chamasha, Aishara, Yawam, Lachadash, Azah, Chad, Hamatasawaf, La Yahweh, Shaba'aith, Yum Yum, Matasawaf, La Akowa. Verse 7. Bayawam, Hararashwa, Makora Kadash, Yahaya, Lakam, Call, Mala'akaf, Abada, La'ah, Ta'aishawa. And that's it. Right? And now we're going to be reading Leviticus chapter 23, and we're going to be reading verses 1 through 7. We're going to read that in the English.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 2, speak unto the children of Israel.
Stop right there, Salakia, sir, if I can. I always say this, Officer Gabar taught me this when I first came into the school, Gabar Rakah. You notice that it's saying, speak unto the children of Israel. This shows right here, this was not for everybody. This didn't say, speak to the children of the Chinese, speak to the children of the Arabs. It says, speak to the children of Israel. Okay, there's groups out here that feel like anybody and everybody should be keeping the feast. That these feasts are for the Most High and for Israel. Now, there will be a time when the nations that are under us that must come up during the Feast of Tabernacles and worship the King of worship Yahweh Shah, and if they don't, they're going to be cursed. That would be another conversation, probably address that during the Feast of Tabernacles. But these feasts are for Israel, and these feasts kind of show Israel's history, especially when they were coming out of Egypt. Go ahead.
Leviticus 23, 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts.
So they're going to be separate assemblies. Holy just means separate. It means they're separate. That means not everybody should be attending. It's a separate assembly. Go ahead.
Verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest, a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein.
Okay, so you're supposed to do no servile work. So, and then what does that mean? Let's talk about employers should not be requiring their employees to work on the Sabbath day. Okay, this is when he's talking to employers. And if you look at that commandment, it's talking about you shall give your man servant, your maid servant, your male servant, your maid servant. Okay, you should be giving them that day off. Okay, you're not supposed to be forcing your employees to work on the Sabbath day. And that's the first thing the Most High brings up, because that's the day we're supposed to have a sacred assembly to remember that the Most High created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and on the seventh he rested. Okay, he rested and he set apart the seventh day. So that's the first thing that starts off when he's talking about the feast, the separate assemblies. He starts off with the Sabbath, because a lot of these high holy days, feast days, are Sabbaths. Go ahead.
You shall do no servile work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
Okay, and Sabbath, what does Sabbath mean? Somebody tell me. Khan means rest. Shabbat in Hebrew means rest. Okay? All right, go ahead.
Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations.
Okay, so these are the feasts of the Lord. Now they're going to go through them. And like I said, you can just see right there, and we should be teaching our children the feast. That's why the feast days should be days where you are talking to your children about the history of Israel, Israel's history. Go ahead.
which ye shall proclaim in your seasons. Verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at evening is the Lord's Passover.
So the first feast that is mentioned is the Passover. Okay, that is our day of what? Why is the Passover important? Somebody tell me. It represents our what? What day is this? Go ahead.
Shlach, sir, our salvation from Egypt.
Okay, it represents our independence. This is how the Most High brought us out of Egypt. So on the 14th day, Israel, took the lamb, put the blood on the head and the lintels of the doorpost, and the Lord passed over. He spared Israel. He passed over the firstborn. That's why it's our Passover.
That's right.
Okay, but he passed through Egypt. And what does that mean? When you pass through something, it means there was some killings. Unaliving, Slakia. There was some unaliving going on. He unalived the firstborn of Egypt. He passed through Egypt, passed over Israel. And that's why it's our Passover. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord.
Okay, so the very next day after the Passover, after the Most High had unalived the Egyptians, the very next day we were put out, and we were pretty much pushed out of Egypt. And we didn't have time to bake our bread and dough for it to rise. And so we didn't have time for that. We had to take the how it was. Okay, the bread and the cakes how it was. So that's why we celebrate the days of unleavened bread, because we had to leave Israel in haste. Egypt, like it. Israel had to leave Egypt in haste, and we did not have time to have our bread to rise. So the unleavened bread is a reminder of how quickly the Most High delivered us from Egypt and how we were pushed out, how we left Egypt quickly. Imagine us imagine the Most High slaughtering or unaliving the firstborn of our enemies and quickly taking us out of the United States. That was unheard of back then because Egypt was considered a mighty empire. And the Most High crushed it in a night. One night. Think about the Most High crushing the United States, which is going to happen in a night. One night. You got to think about how serious that is. And they put Egypt on its knees in a night where the Egyptians said, "Get out." And that is going to happen again with us. Okay? So we're looking forward to that when the Most High crushes this modern Egypt. Okay? Within a night or within a day. Okay? All right, go ahead. Sorry, sir, what's it?
No, y'all good.
Oh, go ahead.
7 days ye must eat unleavened bread.
So on 7 days we have to eat unleavened bread. Okay? Can't eat stuff that would make the bread rise. We have to eat unleavened bread. Go ahead.
Verse 7. In the first day ye shall have an holy convocation.
So the first day we're going to have a separate convocation. And the reason why we have a separate assembly is because that first day we remember, it's us to remember us leaving Egypt. We left Egypt that very next day. Okay, and that's to remember that. We left on the 15th. Okay? The Passover, the lamb was slaughtered on the 14th. Most High slaughtered the unalive the first one at night, and then the next day we were pushed out. And that's why we had to eat the Passover in haste. Go ahead.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 8, sir.
Oh, that's what. All right, now we're going to be reading Leviticus chapter 20. Good reading, Davidah.
The water, sir.
We're going to be reading Leviticus chapter 23, 8 through 14. Okay, we're going to read that, and we're going to read in the Hebrew first and then in the English. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 8 in the Hebrew. Wahakorabtham ashah la Yahweh shaba'aith yum yum ba yawam hashabayaya makora'ah kwadash kal mala'akaf abadah la'at aishawa. Verse 9. Wayadabar Yahweh al mashallah amar. Verse 10. Dabar al bunya yasha'ala wa maraf alham kaya taba'awa al ha'arataza ashar anya nathan lakam wa kwatazarathlam af wa katazar yara wa habatham Aimar, Ra'ashya, Wakatazarkam, all, Hakahan, verse 11, Wahanayak, Ha'imar, Lapanya, Yahweh, Laratazunkum, Makarath, Hashabath, Wayanak, Nawa, Hakahan, verse 12, Wa'aisha Yatham, Bayawam, Hanayakam, Ha'imar, Kabash, Thamayam, Bun, Shanathwa, La'ila, La Yahweh, verse 13. Wamanakathwa, Shunya, Aisharanyam, Salah, Balawala, Washaman, Asha, La Yahweh, Rayak, Nayakak, Wanasak, Wanasaka, Salaki, Yayan, Wabayaith, Hahayan, verse 14. Walakam, Wakwalia, Wabakamalal, La'a, Fa'akowa, Itazam, Hayawam, Hazah, Slacking. Habaya come, Habaya come, Koraban, Allah Hayakam, Kakwaf, Awalam, Ladarath Yakam, Bakal, Mashabath Yakam, and that's it.
Excellent reading.
All right, we're going to be reading, what are we at?
Leviticus 23:8.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 8, and then we're going through 14.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 8. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days. And the seventh day is a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein. Verse 9.
So the seventh day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and that's when you close it out, okay? And the seventh day, so all 7 days you're supposed to be eating unleavened bread, okay? And you're not supposed to you're supposed to remind yourself of how we came out of Egypt quickly in haste. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 10, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priests.
Okay, so when you were coming into the land and you were growing your crops, you were to take a sheaf of the first fruits and bring it unto the priest. Why would the Most High tell us to do that? Can somebody tell me?
Come on, sir. The sheaf is for the priest. The priests have no land of their own, so we give things to the priests for them to have for themselves.
The priests and Levites, they didn't have any inheritance,
right.
And so I'll remember that. And the spirit behind that is brotherhood. So you won't be thinking of yourself when you're gathering the stuff from your land. You wouldn't need to remember the people like the priests and the Levites that are doing the Lord's work, okay? Because if nobody's doing the Lord's work, they'll be out. I think Jeremiah made a joke about they'll be out there doing Uber driving because nobody's doing the Lord's work. So you had to have the priests and the Levites that are doing the Lord's work, okay? And so you had to, since they didn't have, and the Most High was their inheritance, since they didn't have, since they didn't have the big plots of land like Israel had, you needed to remember them as you're going into getting the first fruits. Not only did you remember them, you remembered the poor and the widow. Okay? This is how you took care of people. Okay, the Most High had the spirit of brotherhood built into these feast days. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And ye shall wave the sheaf before the Lord. And you shall wave the sheep before the Lord to be accepted for you.
Okay, and wave the sheep. You know how we how we hold out the cup, La Yasha Allah, represent. It wasn't nothing magical like, when they wave the sheep before the Lord, you're presenting it before the priest, and it was to be accepted by the priest. Okay, and of course, when you bring in your first fruits, it should be the best. Okay, they brought the best. That was Cain's attitude. Not only did he disobey the Lord, he never brought the Lord the best, which was supposed to be of the flocks. The Lord required blood. Abel did that. And Cain never just brought his best to the Lord. Okay, you were supposed to bring the best. Okay, I think it's the book of Malachi. Correct me if I'm wrong, Officer Mataz Bob, where we talk about how people didn't bring the best to the Lord, before the Most High. Okay, so you bring your first fruits, that was representing you bringing your best. Go ahead.
On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. of verse 12. And ye shall offer that day when ye wave the sheaf, and he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto the Lord. Verse 13. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil, and an offering made by fire unto the Lord for a sweet savor. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the fourth part of an hin.
Okay, you notice all this cooking that they're talking about, a fine flour. We've said this many times, oil, flour, black people cooking, okay? That's just very simple, okay? Because nobody can cook and season like us. Okay, you know, I mean, what was it, the 13 herbs and 11 herbs and spices by Colonel Sanders? He cannot outcook a black woman, okay? There's nobody that can cook like us, all right? That's why you have all these restaurants like Kimmy's and stuff. They're getting the ingredients from black people. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And ye shall eat neither bread nor parched corn nor green ears until the selfsame day that ye have brought an offering unto your God.
Okay, you weren't supposed to eat of anything until you brought your first fruits. This is to show that this is to break that spirit of greediness. Think of your other brother. Bring the stuff before. Okay, then you can eat. Okay, but you were supposed to bring stuff to present. And you got to think of how they did this as a community. They were all bringing their best. Okay, and not thinking of themselves. Was that it?
Not a lie, sir.
Okay.
And it shall be a statute forever throughout your generations and all your dwellings.
Okay, that's a statute forever to not be greedy. Okay, to not think of yourself, to always be bringing your best. All right, is that it?
Yes. Come on.
All right. All right, now we're going to be reading Leviticus chapter 15, chapter 23, Salakia. And we're reading 15 through 21. You want to take this one?
I got it.
Come.
Yeah, right. You go spit the towels.
Take it up.
Genesis, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 15. What's the paratham? Lakam, Mama Karab, Hashabad, Mayawam, Habayakam, Aymar, Hathana Wapa, Shabai, Shabbathawa, Nama Yamah, the Hayana, verse 16. Mama Karab, Hashabath, Hashabayat, Hashabayat, that's the parwa. Kamashiyam, Yawam, Wahakorabam, Manaka, Kadasha, La Yahweh, verse 17. Mama Washabath Yakum, Tabiyawa, Makam, Dana Wapa, Shathyam, Shanya, Asharanyam, Salah, the Hayana, Kamataza, the Apayana, Bakawarium, the Yahweh, verse 18. Wahakaraftam, Ahalakam, Shaba'ait, Kabashium, Damayamum, Bunya, Shana, Wapar, Bun, Bakar, Akkad, wa Alahayam, Shanyam, Yahayawa, Ayla, La Yahweh, Wamana Katham, Wanasak Yaham, Ashar, Rayak, La Yakak, La Yahweh. Verse 19. Wa'aisha Yatham, Sha'ayar, Isayam, Akkad, Lakata'ath, Washunya, Kabashiam, Bunya, Shana, Lazabak, Shalamyam, verse 20. Wahanayak, Hakahan, Atham, Alakam, Habakawarium, Danawapa, Lapanya, Yahweh, Al, Shanya, Kabashim, Kodash, Yahayawa, La Yahweh, Lakahan, verse 21. Wakora Atham, Ba'itazam, Hayawam, Hazab, Makora Kodash, Yahaya, Lakam, Kal, Malaka, Ibada, La'a, the Aisha Wa, Ka'akwath, Awalam, Bakol, Shabbat Yakum, let the Wrath Yakum. And that's it.
That's great. All right, we're going to be reading Leviticus chapter 23, 15 through 21 in the English.
Leviticus chapter 23 through verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaves of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete.
Okay, so this is the one holy day that never has the exact day per se. Well, this is the one you actually have to count. Okay, you have to always count 50 days from after the Sabbath. Okay, so you have to always count on this one. You know, you do your counting, and after 50, you come up to when that high holy day is. And this is the Feast of First Fruits. And at the end, you know, that 50 days, you know, it's the closing of the first fruits of the Feast of Weeks, as people say. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Lord. Verse 17. You shall bring out you shall bring out of your habitations 2 wave loaves of 2 tenths deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto the Lord. Verse 18. And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock, and 2 rams, and they shall be for a burnt offering unto the Lord, with your meat offering, and the drink offerings, even an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto the Lord. Verse 19. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings. Verse 20. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Lord. With the 2 lambs, they shall be with the 2 lambs, they shall be holy unto the Lord for the priests. Verse 21. And ye shall proclaim on the selfsame day that it may be an holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations.
Okay, so that's the closing of the first fruits, the day of the Feast of Weeks. Okay, that's when it closes, and that when the closing of the Feast of First Fruits is a Sabbath as well. Okay, and that was a Sabbath day as well. Okay, and during that Sabbath day, of course, you did no servile work. Okay.
So the Feast of First Fruits is also called the Feast of Weeks.
So what we call it the Feast of First Fruits and the Khan. It's like the same, the Feast of Weeks. Well, the closing we call the Feast of Weeks, or some people, they call it like Pentecost.
All right,
closing.
Khan and Khan.
Is that it?
Khan.
Excellent. And the reason they call it the Feast of Weeks because you have to count.
Khan.
You have to count from the first fruits after you brought the first fruits in. You count seven Sabbaths, which is 7 weeks plus a day. And so that's what's the close of the Feast of Weeks. So Khan. All right. Now we're in Leviticus chapter 23, and we're reading 22 through, 28? You want to take this one?
I got it. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 22. Waba Quatazarkum. Quatazayar. Aratazarkum. La'a. Fakala. Pa'a. Shadka. Quatazarka. Wala Quat. Quatazayarka. La'a. Wala Quat. La'anaya. Wala Gar. La'izab. Atham. Anya. Yahweh. Allah. Alayakum. Verse 23. Wa Yadabar. Yahweh. All Mashallah Amar. Verse 24. Debar Ar Bunya, Yasha'ala La Amar, Fakadash, Hashabaya, Hashabayaya, Ba'aka, Lakadash, Yahaya, Lakam, Shabbathwan, Yakarwan, Darawaiha, Makora'ah, Quadash, 25, Call, Malakah, Ibadah, La'ah, the Aishawa, Wahakwabartham, Mashah, La Yahweh, verse 26. Wayidabar, Yahweh, Al, Mashah, La Amar, verse 27. Ak, by Aisha War, La Kadash, Hashabayaya, Hazah, Yawam, Hakaparium, Hawa'ah, Makora'ah, Wadash, Yahaya, Bakam, Wa'an Yathum, Ah, Napashaf, Yakum, Wahakwabartham, Asha, La Yahweh. Verse 28. Wakal, Malaka, La'ah, the Aisha Wa, Va'itazum, Hayawam, Hazah, Kaya, Yawam, Kaparium, Hawa'ah, Hakapar, Alyakam, the Punya Yahweh, Alyakam. That's it.
Excellent.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 22. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of the field.
Okay, so we talked about this before. So let me get some. I know everybody knows the answer to this, but why should you take everything from your field? Why should I not take everything from my field? I know the answer to that.
To leave some for the poor, sir.
Come, you want to leave some for the poor, the widow. The people that probably have the less fortunate. The less fortunate. Okay, and so if they came into your field, it's lawful for them to take, of stuff. Now they can't take a whole basket. Now that's stealing. Take a bag. Well, bring 7 baskets and Officer Uriah's field, and let's. Now you're stealing. But if you're going through and you're hungry, okay, and you want to, get something to eat, that was actually lawful. What's the precept to that? Somebody tell me. Where did you see an example of that in Scripture? Where they were going through the field and they were actually eating, and it probably was somebody's field.
King Shlaki, sir. King David in the bread, the shoe bread.
Well, the show bread, you're thinking of that, but I was thinking of a field, but that's, they were hungry,
Okay.
so they did eat of the show bread, and Yahushua said that they were blameless. But I was thinking of the precept when Yahushua and his disciples were hungry on the Sabbath, and they were going through getting corn, and then the Pharisees and all of them said, "Oh, you're doing what's unlawful." But they were actually they were trying to say they were working, but they weren't. It was eating. They were taking up the corn. They were eating, but what they were doing was lawful. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Shlaki, you shall not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field when thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am the Lord your God. Verse 23.
Keep going.
Verse 23. And the
you're
Lord.
and you're thinking about a stranger too. That's somebody coming from outside of Israel or Jerusalem. They're coming into, and a lot of times, they're coming in. They're visiting. Okay, they could be visiting the land. We're talking about the land that was promised to Abraham. Maybe they're coming from outside of a place. Okay, and they need something to eat, so you would leave something for them. Keep going.
Verse 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 24, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets.
Okay, so we had that last Wednesday. I think it was last Wednesday. We had that last Wednesday memorial of blowing the trumpets. So this is the next thing. What was the purpose of the trumpets? Somebody tell me. I know people know. Or just, what's a trumpet supposed to do? Anybody know? It's a memorial blowing the trumpets. Why did Israel need to blow trumpets?
For a warning, sir.
A warning. Okay, to warn people just in case danger was coming, or it was a way to gather the people together. Okay, so people didn't, you got to think anciently, it wasn't like no surround sounds up there, The people listened to the sounds of the horns. Okay, and the horns, the way they sounded, would let people know what they were supposed to do. Okay, certain horns would and that was the way to get the people moving. You got to think, it was 12 tribes of probably hundreds and thousands of people. How you gonna get all those people to move? So people had to know the sound. Okay, that means Judah and Reuben and Simeon, they have to move. Their camps have to move. Okay, you hear this horn. Now Issachar and Zebulun and Naphtali have to move. Okay, so they were listening to the trumpets, gave people an idea, or they gave people the sound that they needed to hear to what they were needing to do. Okay, all right. I was a teacher, so you got a lot of children. You got sometimes you got to do some stuff to get people's attention. You know those sheets. You hear my voice clap once. It's like there was something that people were used to, okay, to get people to move. Or, horns were blown during the feast day. Okay, they're like, oh, trumpets is here. Okay, we're near the trumpets or atonement. Okay, go ahead.
A holy convocation. Verse 25. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. Verse 26. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 27, also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls.
All right. So on this is the day we're at, the Day of Atonement, to afflict your souls. Okay, this is the day you were supposed to do absolutely no work, because you were humbling yourself and you were afflicting your soul, putting yourself in obedience to the Most High, what the Most High said. Okay, and there's examples of it when Israel would afflict their souls of what they were doing. Precept Isaiah 58. Okay, you look in Isaiah 58, and they were talking about fasting, and they were talking about afflicting their souls. There's another precept in Nehemiah or Ezra, I'll find the exact one, okay, where it says that he afflicted his soul through fasting, okay, because it's putting your body in subjecting your soul. It's talking about your body. You're afflicting it. Okay, how do you when you afflict something, it's like, it's kind of like you're putting it in subjection to something, okay? So you're putting your body in subjection to not eat, okay? You're afflicting your body. That soul is like your body, okay? Because your body, probably within the 24-hour period, is going to be like, it's time to eat, okay? Because your body is used to that, okay? But you're afflicting that. You're putting your body into subjection to obey what the Most High says. And the spirit behind that, we talked about that. If you can afflict your soul for 24 hours, what does that mean you can do?
Stop sinning.
Come, you can fight your demons. Okay, because everybody's got to eat. Okay, that's the conversation. What'd you eat today? Because that's just a part of everyday life, especially when you're home and what we eat. Okay, because that's just a part of everyday life. So if you can go 24 hours and afflict your soul for 24 hours to not eat, then you can afflict your soul to not do the habits the bad habits that you want to tell yourself you should be doing. Okay, you can afflict your soul in that. All right.
It's like, if I could too, and just even chime in with Officer Rod saying, like, listen, that means that a lot of people make excuses for smoking weed. I've been doing it for so long. It's hard to stop, this, that, and the third. Cigarettes, I've been doing it for so long. Listen, if you've been eating all your life.
Come on.
You've been drinking all your life. And if you can afflict yourself and stop eating or drinking for 24 hours, you surely can stop and put that blunt down. You can put that cigarette down. That's what it means. You see what I'm saying? Like, we make things harder than what they are. And the spirit behind it is because we don't have the zeal to do it sometimes. You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to have the zeal to serve the Most High. That's why we're afflicting our souls right now. But when it comes to these other worldly lusts that we may have, we got to have the zeal to stop doing them as well. That's why we got to afflict our souls. That's what they're saying. But that's all I wanted to say.
Excellent.
Can I say something, sir? Go ahead. Also, the first part of afflicting the soul for me was being determined to worship this high holy day. I laid in the bed thinking, if I call out, my boss gonna be mad, and then I realized I'm showing fear towards Esau and no fear toward the Most High. I don't care what they do. So I called in, and when they asked why you calling out, I said it's my religious right. You know what I'm saying? I'm worshiping the Day of Atonement, so I'm calling out.
No sweat, sir.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
What are we at?
Verse 27.
Go ahead.
Verse 27. Ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. Verse 28. And ye shall do no work in the same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God. Verse 29. For whatsoever soul it be, Are we going, son? Are we supposed
Oh, we're
to
at
stop at
29?
28?
Oh, we're supposed to stop at 28.
Stop.
Yes, Schlock.
Oh, sorry. So, and just to go into, this, and during this day, this is if you want to review what was really all going on this day, really need to read Leviticus chapter 16, that whole chapter. I used to love reading this. I'm actually going to give y'all a homework assignment. Okay, your homework assignment on the Day of Atonement is to read Leviticus 16, because that will give you more insight of what was really going on during this day. That's the homework assignment. I'll probably test us.
Cut in one cup.
Test y'all the next time we what's the Feast of Tabernacles? Next Wednesday? Next Wednesday I'm gonna give him a Day of Atonement test to see who really read Leviticus 16. That kind of gives you some insight of what was really going on during the Day of Atonement and what Aaron had to do. And actually really it's the Day of Atonements, plural, because Aaron had to make atonement for not only himself, his family, but they had to do it for all of Israel. There was a lot going on that day. Okay, and there was a lot going on, and and Israel everybody had to play their part that day. All right, we're in Leviticus chapter 23, and we're in verse 29, and we're going through verse 35. Is that I'm always off my 7. Okay,
Yeah,
32. Okay, you want me to take this one?
no.
All right, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 29. Kaya kal hanapash ashar la'a ta'ina ba'aituzam hayawam hazah wa nakarafta ma'ayim yaha. Verse 30. Wa kal hanapash ashar ta'aisha kal mala'aka ba'aituzam hayawam hazah wa ha abadatafya ya hanapash hayawa makarab I'm ha. Verse 31. Call mala'akav la'av ta'ishawa kwakwaf. I will la darathya come bakal mishabathya come. Verse 32. Shabash one hawa lakam wa aynayatam napash nabashafya come ba'ishawa batha sha'aitha lakadash ba'irab Idarab, the Shabbath come. Verse 33. Waydabar Yahweh al Mashallah Amar. Verse 34. Dabar al Bunya Yasha'al la Amar. Bachamat Kamasha Ishara Yawam la Kadash. Hashabayaya Hazachad. Hasakawaf. Shaba'ay Yamyam la Yahweh. Verse 35. Bayawam Hara Ashwan. Mawakwara Kodash call Mala'akaf Ibada La'at Aishawa. And that's it. All right. We're going to be reading Leviticus chapter 23 and verses 29 to 35 in the
28.
Oh, verse 20.
I'm sorry, 29.
29 to 35 in the English.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 29. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in the same day, he shall be cut off from among his people.
Okay, that was very important to the Most High. Your soul, you were not afflicting your soul on that day. Okay? Because you got to think, and the Most High says this, it's like, on this day shall your sins be forgiven. Okay? The Most High was showing, at that time, Israel, he said, on this day shall you sin, all the sins of Israel that were forgiven on this day. Okay? But you sit up there eating. So you're not even thinking about trying to fight your demons. On that day, because you want, whatever. You're not thinking about fighting your demons because you got to eat something. Okay? And remember, this is talking about Israelites who are able. So for 24 hours, you are to fast today. Okay? And this is pretty much what the other nations that have their religion stole from us. Okay? They stole from us because we were doing this. We were fasting. Okay, but they don't even fast for 24 hours. I think General Hyman always like that they just miss lunch and now they're so holy. Okay, but you are to fast for 24 hours on this day. The able is now if you got medical conditions, you're pregnant, small children. We're not talking about that, but the able Israelites are to fast 24 hours. And if you didn't, the Most High could check you for that. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Verse 30. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in the same day, the soul the same soul will I destroy from among his people.
Okay, you weren't even supposed to go out and do your employment. Okay, make sure you definitely weren't supposed to make sure your employees definitely weren't supposed to be working on this day. Go ahead.
Verse 31, you shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings.
All right.
Verse 32, it shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls. In the 9th day of the month, at evening, from evening unto evening, shall ye celebrate your Sabbath.
And really, if you think about it, the Most High is merciful. I mean, who really wants to work when you're not eating? I mean, you don't have no energy. The Most High, you see the intelligence of the Most High. Okay, because you afflicting your soul that day, but then you want to go out and work. Okay, and then you're going to drop dead anyway because the Lord take you out of your body and be like, you ain't supposed to be doing this. Because so you're supposed to be resting and putting your, and reflecting and fighting, thinking about the demons that you can fight because you're going without food and water. So this actually, these shows how the Most High is very merciful. Okay, to rest on this day and to afflict your soul. I mean, especially if you got like a hard construction job. I don't think you want to be doing all that construction work and out, and you haven't eaten. Go ahead.
Verse 33, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 34, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of the 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. Verse 35, on the first day shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein.
Okay, so that's next Wednesday, the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay, let me see if somebody remembers. Why do we commemorate the Feast of Tabernacles? Okay, what is like a tabernacle anyway? It's like
a booth.
It's like a booth, a tent. Okay, it's like a temporary shelter that Why do we observe the Feast of Tabernacles? I mean, we're going to hear about it, but why? What was the point? I remember. What does it remind us? Remember, think about the feast as a history lesson.
Right.
Okay, think about it. We started Passover. We left during Passover. That was our Independence Day. Well, actually, we left on the first day of unleavened bread. But the Most High unalived the firstborn of Egypt on Passover. That was the start. Then the next day we left, and then the next day and then the next feast day is talking about us, the spirit of brotherhood, us coming when we come into the land, and we're giving our first fruits and giving our best. Okay, we come down to the memorial of the trumpets. Okay, and we're having to blow the trumpets and having camps move. All right, and we talk about atonement. But why the Feast of Tabernacles? What is this to help us remember? What does this remind us? Go ahead, Officer Matasba.
It's to remind us that we were in the wilderness and we dwelt in temporary booths while the Lord was moving us out of the land of Egypt.
Okay, excellent. It reminds us that we were in tents in the wilderness, okay, and the Most High led us in the wilderness. He led us through a pillar of cloud by day, a pillar of fire by night, and we were following him throughout the wilderness. And the greatest thing is that what? He dwelt among us. The Most High had his tent. Okay, everybody had their tents, and in the midst of it, the Most High had his tent. Of course, he had the baddest tent, though. But it's just to remind us that what was going on through and during those years that we were wandering, okay, the Most High fed us. I mean, you got to think, who could survive in the wilderness for all that time? The Most High fed us. He fed us manna, fed us quail. So we survived. Okay, now there were some people that had to die off because they didn't believe when they came to the land. The Most High said they would die off. But the Most High preserved Israel in that wilderness. Okay, and we dwelt in temporary tabernacles. All right, excellent. Is that it?
You come on, sir.
All right, we're going to be, and we're now.
Verse 36.
We're going to read the water. We're going to read verse 36, and we're going to be reading. We're going to actually finish it off because there's only 2 verses at the end, so we'll just finish this off.
Finish it all the way.
Because it's like 2, unless you want to do.
No,
Okay. All right, we're going to be reading Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36, and we'll go all the way through 44.
God. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36. Shabbat Yam Yam Takwarab Yawa Ashar Yahweh Bayawam, Hashemayanya, Makora'ah, Qudash, Yahaya, Become, Wahakorabatham, Asher, Yahweh, Aitazarath, Hawa, Call, Malakath, Ibadah, La'ah, the Aishawa, verse 37. Allah, Mawa'aya, Yahweh, Asher, the Kora'awa, Atham, Makora'aya, Qudash, Lahakorabi, Lahakorayah, Asher, Yahweh, Ilah, Wamanakah, Zabak, Wanasakyam, Debar, Yawam, Bayawamwa. Verse 38. Malabad, Shabbathath, Yahweh, Wamalabad, Mathanawath Yakam, Wamalabad, Kal, Nadar Yakam, Wamalabad, Kal, Nadab, Nadabawath Yakam, Ashar, the Thunwa, La Yahweh, verse 39, Ak, Bakashamash, Become a shah, the water, a shar, Yawam, Lakadash, Hashabayaya, for Asapkam, double Wa'ah, Ha'arataza, the Kagwa, Kag, Yahweh, Shaba'ai, Yum, Bayawam, Harashawan, Shabbathwan, Yabayawam, Hashabayanya, Shabbathwan, verse 40. Walakwakatham, Lakam, Bayawam, Hara'ashawan, Parya, Aitazah, Hadar, Kapah, the Mariam, Wa'ainat, Aitazah, Aiba, Wa'arabia, Lakol, Hashamakatham, Mapanya, Yahweh, Alahayakam, Shaba'aith, Yum, verse 41. Wakagagath, Athwa, Ka'ag, La Yahweh, Shaba'aith, Yum, Bashana, Ka'akwath, Iwalam, La Darathyakum, Bakadash, Hashabayaya, the Kagawa Athwa. So like in verse 42. Basakath, the Wawa, Shaba'ait, Yum, Kal Ha'azarak, Yasha'ala, Yashabwa, Basakath, verse 43. Lama'ain, Yada'aiwa, the Rathyakam, Kaya, Basakawa, Hawashabathya, Bunya, Yasha'ala, Bahawatazaya Aya, Awatham, Ma'arataza, Matazarium, Anya, Yahweh, Alahayakam, verse 44, Wayadabar, Masha'ah, Ma'ayya, Yahweh, Bunya, Yasha'ala.
Excellent reading. That was good reading. All right, we're going to go ahead and finish it off. We're in Leviticus chapter 23, 36 through 44.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Okay, so the Feast of Tabernacles is also 7 days. Okay? It's also 7 days where you're to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. The first day is a high holy day, and then the 8th day is the closing. That's also a high holy day. So they close it out on the 8th day. Go ahead.
On the 8th day shall be a holy convocation unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. Verse 37. These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon this day. Verse 38. Beside the Sabbaths of the Lord, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your freewill offerings, which ye give unto the Lord. Verse 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. Verse 40. And ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook, and ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days. Verse 41.
Okay, so I want you to point out that the Most High has told us to rejoice during the feast days. Okay, that Most High told us to do that. Okay, because people in the world, when they keep Christmas and all the other heathen holidays, they rejoice over that. Okay, so if you especially coming in here and learning about your identity, you should be even more rejoiceful during the feast of the Lord.
That's right.
You should have more rejoicing, and rejoice and be glad, because one, you're actually keeping the days that have to do with your heritage.
That's right.
Okay, and identifies who you are. And the Most High told us, is this a time to rejoice? I mean, because you gotta think, you're slaving all week. You gotta deal with, the conquistador, whatever you want to call him. The oppressor. Yeah, you gotta deal with them all the time throughout the year. This is a time where it can remind us, just especially of when we will go and get into have our own land, okay, and when the Most High will set up, and we will actually be in our rightful land, and our enemies will be under us, okay, and our enemies will be under us, and so we need to rejoice for that.
That's right.
We got to rejoice, because you got to think the Feast of Tabernacles, Zechariah 14 shows that those nations, after the Most High pretty much breaks them in half, they're going to have to come up and they're going to have to worship. They're going to have to worship the King, okay? And they're going to have to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And if they don't, they'll get no rain. They'll be cursed, okay? And so that's why you got to rejoice this day. You got to think, that time is coming, okay? Just like Egypt was destroyed, the Most High is going to destroy our enemies, okay? So the feast days is a time for us to rejoice, because the Most High is going to deliver us, and once again, we're going to be put in our own land, okay? And we'll be running the earth, okay? Look at Zechariah 14 as a precept, all right? Go ahead.
And we got to realize, listen, these are not Jewish holidays, man.
Right.
This is not for the Jewish man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, these are our days, man, that the Lord gave us. You see what I'm saying? Like, we take hold to everything else except for what's ours, man. We got to get back to our heritage, to our culture. You see what I'm saying? There's no reason that any Black, Hispanic, or Native American shouldn't be in all the UPK classes tonight. You see what I'm saying? Every Black, Hispanic, and Native American should be fasting tonight.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? This is our culture, because we're going to celebrate Christmas. We're going to celebrate New Year's Eve. We're going to celebrate Thanksgiving. We're going to do all that manner of wickedness, man. We got to get back to our own culture and celebrating the days that the Lord told us to celebrate. These are not Jewish holidays, man. These are the holidays of the Most High that He has for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. No one else. If you ain't Black, Hispanic, and Native American, I don't know what you're trying to keep these days for.
That's right.
The Lord don't give a damn about you keeping them. You see what I'm saying? He don't care. You see what I'm saying? All that singing and shouting you doing, He don't give a damn about it. You see what I'm saying? This is for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American. This is our culture, not yours.
Come on, bro. What he said is excellent. And that's why during these days, as Commander General Yohana says, it's about brotherhood, us gathering together, okay? Us getting together and keeping it, because, outside, people going to keep people get together to keep Thanksgiving, the slaughter of our people.
Right.
People actually really get together on that day, okay? And, and I know all of us out there don't understand the truth behind it, but you got to think, the mentality. People will really gather together. And I've talked to some people that once they know the truth, they're like, well, I'm just getting together just to get with family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you're like, well, this is celebrating the slaughter of our brothers. The slaughter of the Wampanoags and the Pequots and the Narragansetts. That's commemorating their slaughter. Well, I just want to get with family. Okay, well, if they're that zealous to get together on a day to talk about our slaughter, we need to get together on Passover, rejoicing over the Egyptian slaughter.
Right.
Okay?
So like,
Just
just
to
add on to that, man. Listen, people always want you to respect their holidays. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They want you to talk softly and respect their holidays. Listen, check this. I'm disrespecting all the holidays. You know why? Because when we keep Thanksgiving, when we keep and Christmas, We're disrespecting not only the Most High,
God.
we're disrespecting our forefathers, our foremothers. You see what I'm saying? Who were killed on those days.
Come, absolutely.
Like, our family died on these days, on these holidays that the world celebrate, man.
God.
The North American Indian, they was getting their heads taken off. They kicking their heads around like soccer balls, man.
God.
I don't give a damn about Thanksgiving.
That's
and
right.
if your feelings get hurt, so what?
God.
You see what I'm saying? This is the energy we got here because people are so aggressive in keeping this culture of the heathen. You see what I'm saying? And that's what it is. We got to be aggressive about keeping the culture of the Most High, man. Every black, Hispanic, and Native American, man, listen, we got to keep these high holy days starting tonight. You know what I mean? If this is your first time hearing about the Day of Atonement, you've been eating since 6:30 something, like, stop eating right now. You see
That's
what I'm saying?
right.
That's all you got to do. Stop eating right now. You see what I'm saying? And put your culture on and put your heritage back on, man. That's what we got to do to get back to where we're supposed to be, man.
Come. And the water, sir, if I may add to that, and how we was talking about our people being slaughtered on Thanksgiving. Our people, if you look in the Maccabees, it shows how our babies were even slaughtered on Christmas Day by the Greeks. So, I mean, it's really, when you celebrate the other holidays, you're really celebrating the slaughter of our people.
Right.
I guarantee you I guarantee you that no American, when I say American, I'm talking about, I guarantee Esau's not, going to celebrate a day where we're talking about the slaughter of his people.
Right.
I guarantee he's not going to sing and dance and make a holiday out of that day. Okay, and tell people to eat a turkey and have a family dinner. Okay, but so with that being said, we should be celebrating those days. Okay, but we should be rejoicing all the time when the Most High is going to slaughter our enemies. Okay, excellent.
May I?
We got to listen.
Okay, come on.
Time, do the time.
Gotcha. All right, verse 41.
Time.
And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Verse 42. You shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israel born shall dwell in booths. Verse 43. That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Verse 44. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Lord.
Excellent. Good reading, Doctor.
Okay.
All right, we due to time, I know we're short on time. Does anybody have any quick questions? Any questions about the Day of Atonement? So, 24 hours, you should be fasting, and you break that fast, breakfast, but it's going to be at night tomorrow. You break that fast tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow night at the sun sets, and I think the sun sets around, I believe, 6:30, 6:30-ish. Just text it. The next feast day is the Feast of Tabernacles, and that starts next Wednesday. Okay, so you break the fast tomorrow night, but if you are able, make sure that you are not working, and that you are, afflicting your soul, which is fasting.
I have a question, sir.
One second.
Go ahead, let me answer.
Okay, go ahead.
What shall the Hebrews that want to follow the Lord do tomorrow when they have to work and they can't take off?
Yeah, if you gotta work, you gotta work. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. You see what I'm saying? The Lord took it out on your slavery. Because we gotta remember, we still are in slavery. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, if you got a slave, you got a slave. You see what I'm saying? You won't be punished for it. That slavery will be punished for it.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying? And another thing, like, this is like the spiritual component of this is like, yeah, we just stopped eating tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? That last hour, it's gonna get hard. You see what I'm saying? That last hour, that last half an hour, that last 15 minutes when you sitting there, this is spiritual, man.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? We in them times right now. We in the last 15 minutes. You see what I'm saying? And brothers and sisters not holding on. You see what I'm saying? If you feeling weak, you got to fight them demons. You got to pick the phone up. You got to call a brother. You see what I'm saying? Have a 15-minute conversation with a brother while you waiting for it to end. You see what I'm saying? Battle and fight your demons.
That's
you know,
right.
because it's going to come. That last hour, you be good 23 hours. That 24th hour, it's like you can start smelling the food. You can start tasting the drink. You see what I'm saying? That's when it gets real hard and it becomes a struggle. It's almost like you're in a countdown. You see what I'm saying? If you like that, you know, for some people it's not an issue. But for those that, if you got an issue with that, man, get on the phone. Call your brother. You see what I'm saying? That's what the brotherhood is for. You see what I'm saying? And that's how we fight our demons. You don't fight your demons by thinking that you can handle everything. And you sit in the corner and you suffering. Satan gonna whip your ass. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is.
Right.
Pick the phone up, get some counsel, talk to your brother, link up with your brother, you know, and then as soon as everything in, y'all go grab something to eat and something to drink.
Come on, sir.
Right. The water too. And with that, just the people up here, Imadium.
Come on, sir.
Sir. Officer Mataz, but I think it's number one at blowing that horn. Him and Captain Sapar.
La Yasha Allah.
I think he just fixed this. I think he blew that in. So, just carry it by this up here. Hold it high. Men of Israel, gird up thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah. Yehovah Bashem Yashab Rakya.
Yehovah Bashem Yashab Rakya.
How about you, y'all, Shabbat? Yeah. How about you, y'all, Shabbat? Yeah.
I think I did that wrong. I think I was supposed to cover the scroll. All right. I think I did that wrong. Salakia. All right. Go ahead and blow that horn. Salakia. All right. That's on you, Officer Mataz.
All right, this for everybody. Amadium, Wapan Yahakutam, which means rise and face the east. 1, 2, 3. We're going to read the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, then in the English. Repeat that to me. Lord's Prayer. Abinah. Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kadash. Hayah.
Shabbat.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Balak
Naba'ah. Batazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'arataza.
Kawah.
Hayah.
Bashemayim.
Bashemayim.
Lathananau.
Lakam.
Call.
Yawam.
Wasalakinau.
Wasalaknau.
Kabawathanu.
Kabawathnu.
Kasalakinau.
Kasalaknau.
Kabawathnu.
Kabawathnu. Wala'ah.
W'ayinau. Let us say one.
Let us say one.
A ball.
Abashayno.
Mayan.
Ride.
Kiyah.
Lakab.
Hamalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Wahatapara.
Aman in the English. Our Father. Which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
This is the power. Yahweh. Ba'ashim.
Ba'ashim.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Babakushah.
Babakushah.
The thunder now.
The thunder now.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Lakat.
Lakat.
Larpa'ah.
Larpa'ah.
Call Maka Allah.
Call Maka Allah.
Call Madawa.
Call Madawa.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Hamatazaraya.
Hamatazaraya.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Lahakmiyah.
Lahakmiyah.
Hamathiyah.
Hamathiyah.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Arakawa.
Arakawa.
Hatama'ala.
Hatama'ala.
Lagarashan.
Lagarashan.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Wa'adamah.
Wa'adamah. And in the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
Power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
This is blessed Israel. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Wahabiyah.
Wahabiyah.
Sapari.
Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Wa'adamah.
Wa'adamah. And in the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the school.
And the school.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
This is Psalms 121. Aisha.
Aisha.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Hahariya.
Al-Hahariya.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isaiah.
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 Ma'ayin.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shemayam.
Shemayam.
Wa'aratazah.
Wa'aratazah.
Ayathan.
Ayathan.
Ramawat.
Ramawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyaka.
Yamyaka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashemash.
Hashemash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Waliyalah.
Waliyalah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makal Ran.
Makal Ran.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Apnapashka.
Apnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'afka.
Taza'afka.
Wa'aka.
Wa'aka.
Mayatha.
Mayatha.
Wa'ai.
Wa'ai.
Awalam.
Awalam.
Aman.
Aman. And in the English, I will lift up my eyes to the hill.
I will lift up my eyes into the hill.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
Which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
Even I suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold.
he that keepeth Israel
He that keepeth
shall
Israel
neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve
from
thee
all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going
and
out
thy coming
and
in
thy coming in
from this time forth,
from this time forth,
even forevermore.
even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it.
This is Psalms 83. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Thakarash.
Al-Thakarash.
Wa-al-Tashakwat.
Al-Tashakwat.
Oh.
Al.
Kiyahana.
Kiyahana.
Abu-Yabyaka.
Yabyaka.
Yahama Yawan.
Yahama Yawan.
Wama-Shanayaka.
Shanayaka.
Nasha'awa.
Nasha'awa.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Aimaka.
Al-Aimaka.
Ki-Arayamwa.
Arayamwa.
Sawad.
Sawad.
Wa-Yataya'at Tazawa.
Wayataya'ad Tazawa.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakida.
Wanakakida.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yasakar.
Yasakar.
Sham Yasha'al.
Sham Yasha'al.
Aiwa.
Aiwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Na wa'ai Tazawa.
Na wa'ai Tazawa.
La.
La.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Ayaka.
Ayaka.
Barya.
Barya.
Yakarathwa.
Yakaratha.
Ahalia.
Ahalia.
Adawam.
Adawam.
When Yashama'a alayam.
Wayishma'ai Alayam.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagaria.
Wahagaria.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'aimawan.
Wa'aimawan.
Wa'amalat.
Wa'amalat.
Palashab.
Palashab.
Am Yeshabia.
Am Yeshabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Malawa.
Aimam.
Aimam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zerawai.
Zerawai.
Labanya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha Laham.
Aisha Laham.
Kamanya.
Kamanya.
Kasa Yasara'a.
Kasa Yasara'a.
Kayabin.
Kayabin.
Wanakal.
Wanakal.
Koyashwan.
Koyashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Ba'ayanda Ara.
Ba'ayanda Ara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La Adama.
La Adama.
Shayatamba.
Shayatamba.
The Yatmawa.
The Yahweh.
Ka'ara.
Ka'ara.
Because of Abba.
Because of Abba.
Because of Ba.
Because of Ba.
Wakatazalmanai.
Wakatazalmanai.
Call Nasaya Kamwa.
Call Nasaya Kamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Nayarashah.
Nayarashah.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Ah. Na'awa.
Na'awa.
Alahaya.
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 Shayathamwa.
Shayathamwa.
Kagagala.
Kagagala.
Kakwash.
Quash,
the Punya Rakab,
Punya Rakab,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
the Ba'ira Ya'ira,
Ira Ira,
Wakala Haba,
Wakala Haba,
Dalahat,
Dalahat,
Haryam,
Harn,
Han,
Khan,
the Radatma,
the Radatma,
Wasa Irika,
Irika,
was a Pafka,
was a
the
Pasca,
Bahalam,
Malam,
Mala'ah, Punyaham,
Punyaham,
Pulawan,
Pulawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shabka,
Shabka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabahawa,
Wayabahawa,
Ayah,
Ayah,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayadaiwa,
Wayadaiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha,
Shabka,
Shabka, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Baka,
Ayawan,
Ayawan,
Alkal,
Haratza,
Aman.
Aman. And in the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
For lo,
Lo,
thy enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee,
They that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden
And
ones.
consulted against thy hidden
They
ones.
have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
let us cut them off.
let us cut them off.
From being a nation.
From being a nation.
The name of Israel.
The name of Israel.
May be no more remembered.
Be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together.
They have consulted together.
With one consent.
One consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee.
are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
Tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
The Hagarenes.
Gabal.
Gabal.
And Ammon.
Ammon.
And Amalek.
Amalek.
The Philistines.
Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
The inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher is also joined with them.
Asher also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
To Sisera.
As to Jabin.
To Jabin.
The brook of Kisan.
Brook of Kassan.
Which perished at Endor.
Perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
Became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a rab.
Make their nobles like a red.
And like Zahab.
Like Zahab.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes.
All their princes.
And Sabah.
And Sabah.
And Zamunah.
There's a Muda.
Who said.
Who said.
Let us take to ourselves
Let us take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
the house of Yahweh in possession.
O my power.
O my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble for the wind.
Stubble for the wind.
As the fire burns the wood.
The fire burning for wood.
And as the flames set the mountains on fire.
Let the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
Persecute them.
With thy temper.
With thy temper.
And make them afraid.
Make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
They may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And troubled forever.
Trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou.
That thou.
Whose name alone.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh.
Is Yahweh.
But the Most High.
But the Most High.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
So be it.
So big. This is the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shah.
Wa Yahweh Shah.
Wa man yaka Allah.
Wa man yaka Allah.
Wa ala hayya.
Wa ala hayya.
Wa tazab ya'ah.
Wa tazab ya'ah.
Ala wap yahan.
Ala wap yahan.
Ha ala wap yam.
Ha ala wap yam.
Hasaranyam.
Hasaranyam.
Ha kwatazayanyam.
Ha kwatazayanyam.
Ha kayayalyam.
Ha kayayalyam.
Wa ha akwatyam.
Wa ha akwatyam.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Wa Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Wa Ramah.
And in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commander General Yohanan.
Commander General Yohanan.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
These are the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against
That
us.
speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the schools.
And the schools.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasure.
Shake loose the treasure.
Of the rich of Israel.
Of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter to thy sanctuary.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
And drug dealers.
The court system.
Court system.
The prison system.
prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitatus.
Posse Comitatus.
The Gay Movement. movement.
The gay movement.
The gay movement.
The gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
The lesbian movement.
The lesbian movement.
The lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airways.
And the airways.
Cable access channel.
Cable access channel.
And the radio channel.
And the radio channel.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the spirit.
Of any of thy people.
Of any of thy people.
That seek to stop us.
That seek to stop us.
And bring swift destruction.
And bring swift destruction.
All the heathen.
To all the heathen.
That stand in the way.
That stand in the way.
Will try to stop us.
Will try to stop us.
From broadcasting your word.
Broadcasting your
throughout
word.
the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
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 Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Through the earth.
Through the earth.
And consume them.
And consume them.
Let the plagues.
Let the plagues.
Take the house of the thief.
Take the house of the thief.
And the murder.
And the murder.
Let Yahweh Shai.
Let Yahweh Shai.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and Gabriel.
Come down with the flying
Come
saucer.
down with the flying sauce.
And punish all the heathen.
Punish all the
They
heathen.
come up against us.
They come up against us.
As we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known.
Cause it to be known.
By all.
By all.
That it is the angels.
That it is the angels.
That have done it.
That have done it.
Cause it to be spread.
Cause it to be spread.
Through the media.
Through the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy
In the name of
coming.
Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sar, which means to turn. Council. Right before you go, so I can say. This concludes the service. Council. Sister Yashab.
Men of Israel, we're going to give a one courtesy salute to the teacher. So, men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Imani, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat,
Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shabarakatham.
Yad Yamatah, Sar, which means turn. Sisters Imani. Men of Israel, we're going to give a one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Imani, Barak,
Yahweh Shamar Alatham Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai.
Yad Yamatah, class dismissed.
Leave all this right up here.